Next up at UFC Qatar, we have Volkan Oezdemir taking on Alonzo Menifield in a very similar matchup. Despite not looking anything like each other, they've got some similar fight styles here. Volkan Oezdemir, 20-8 in his career. He is 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that decision loss to Carlos Ulberg, taking on Alonzo Menifield, 17-5 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5, and he's riding back-to-back wins. Volkan Oezdemir, forward pressure striker, good power, good volume. He throws his hands pretty hard. He throws them pretty often. His takedown accuracy kind of sucks shit. It's less than 30%. And that's kind of a problem because if he's losing the striking exchanges, can't always just rely on the wrestling to get that back. And his chin's not going to keep him in the fight either. He is 7-8 in the UFC. He has a losing record in the UFC, a mixed bag of competition, but everybody will agree that the losses are quality. He's losing the former world champions like Yuri Prochazka, Daniel Cormier, Aliev. Just lost to Carlos Ulberg, where early he actually looked pretty good with the leg kicks. He's taking on Alonzo Menifield. This guy's got great power, great takedown defense for the most part. He's always looking to just knock your head clean off of your body. The striking can be wild. It is sloppy, but the power's there, and it's undeniable. If he is moving forward and he is the aggressor, he can have some success as long as he's not too aggressive. But if you're going to back him up, he doesn't quite have that same power off his back foot. He is coming off that fraud check win over Umar Sy. Fun matchup. Two sort of aging vets. They do fight very similarly in that they've got good striking. They've got decent power. They'll shoot random takedowns. They're not great at it. Alonzo is definitely the harder hitter. Alonzo has probably better wrestling as well, but Volkan is busier. He's faster. He's a little cleaner. And he's a little more mobile. So I think Volkan wins this fight because I think he stays busy. And I think Alonzo just waiting for a big shot where Volkan just staying busy, staying out of the way of a big shot and just touching and going. So Volkan's going to be the pick for that reason. But this is a much closer fight than these odds. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people this week, Volkan this and Volkan that. And I've got, some specific bets on Volkan because I get it. But here's the question I posed on Twitter, and I'll read it verbatim just so we can all get a good feel about what's going on. Because every time that somebody mentions Volkan, it's always back. Yeah, he's always his losses are good people. Like he's got good losses, but they're good people. Here's the tweet, Angelo. Question. Mm-hmm. Okay, are we giving Oezdemir too much credit for simply having good losses when he is 5-7? In his last 12 fights, and those 5 wins are versus Ilir Latifi in 2019, a split versus Rakic, who is 2-4 in the UFC since then, a decision win versus Paul Craig, who is 1-5 in the UFC since then, a debutant Guskov, which now looks like a great win because but that was Guskov's first fight in the UFC. And then he KO'd Johnny Walker, who was coming off that KO against Aliev, which that is looking better now as Johnny's starting to come back into his own. But those 5 wins aren't it's not like he's smoking everybody, losing the good people. It's like he's losing everybody he should lose to, and then he's getting some wins, but you're looking at these wins, and it's like, are we overpricing a guy, Volkan Oezdemir, when Alonzo Menifield, I know he's a little bit older now, and I'm not going to sit here and toot Alonzo's horn too much, but I will say ever since leaving Fat Barry behind, which I think really drug him down, now back with Fordish, with Saif Saud, he's definitely been a lot more dialed in. He's not doing the loosey-goosey wild shit, and that's why he won that Umar Sy fight, because he was just dialed in, doing it. He wasn't worried about whatever. He's just doing his thing, And if he comes into this fight and just kind of does his thing, this is a close fight. I mean, Volkan Oezdemir isn't I know he's got a lot of knockouts, and when he wins, it usually is in spectacular fashion, all this type of stuff, and people want to question this chin of Alonzo. I don't want to get too far twisted. I'm picking Volkan. I bet him in a way that I prefer. Instead of just chasing the money line, I got a little bit more specific with it, but I think people are underestimating Alonzo a little bit, kind of overestimating Volkan. In my opinion, it's going to be a pressure thing. Volkan does bring in crazy pressure. I think Alonzo eventually will fold to that pressure, but everyone just kind of chasing a first, Volkan's just going to smoke this guy. It's like, Alonzo's not a bum. I mean, yeah, he's a bum. He's done some stupid shit, and he definitely has been knocked out, but he's not It's not like he's just getting knocked out left and right. He's a just terrible guy, and he just won as a huge underdog. So, and that was obviously more about side than whatever. But my pick is Volkan. I think eventually the pressure gets to Alonzo, wears him down. But you know, I don't know. I think and I like Volkan. I picked Volkan to beat Oeberg.
Some people thought he did.
Yeah, so
Oeberg on a couple of sketchy decisions in a row.
I like the pressure that Volkan brings, and I'm gonna pick him. But you know, the people that are like Volkan's lock, he's lock. I mean, he could look that way, but you know,
I think he's just the better striker. He's a little faster, a little cleaner, so that should be enough to win the fight. But Alonzo has the power. Alonzo has takedowns if he needs them. So yeah, this fight could get a little weird, and I think it's far closer than these odds are. I stayed away from it, but if you want to take a look at the bets we do have on the board, there are bets on this fight. Like Jacob said, some safe ones, some interesting ones. You can check them out now. Just go to WeWantPicks.com. Under official analysis, you'll have picks, you'll have bets. And then under tools, you'll have the artificial intelligence. You'll have the fight simulator, the data analyzer. There are all sorts of insight information tools on the website. Costs almost nothing. No packages, no upsell, no cross-sell, no bullshit. It's all right there. One click, bang, available to you. WeWantPicks.com.